This is what I'm having now. Noodles, zucchini, and beef.
Miller said that I was almost going to confess when you came and got my rifle.
He tells investigators the plan was to kill Larry during hunting season and make it look like an accident.
When asked if anyone else was involved, Charlie points the finger at his ex-lover, Tammy Holman.
Tammy told me if I got rid of him, he'd be killed.
During the interview with Charlie Miller, he came forward with a whole new twist, which implicated Tammy Holman in the killing of her husband. Charlie Miller told us that Tammy Holman had actually given him maps to Larry's hunting areas.
She told me where he was going to be hunting.
To be able to get him to this remote area where he was able to take a shot at Larry Holman, but actually missed.
Charlie says at one point he tried to back out.
Charlie Miller told us that he had second thoughts several times about committing the murder, but Tammy would demean him and basically say if he didn't do it, she would find someone else to do this for her.
Hearing that sends chills down your spine. You think that anyone could be so cold and calculating about someone they supposedly love.
Finally, on November 21st, 2000, Charlie carried out their cold-blooded plan.
The night that Larry was killed, Charlie had walked down the railroad tracks to the property, positioned himself behind a tree so he could get good aim, and as Larry drove by, he just shot through the back glass and got him.
When word the story started coming out, Charlie had called him up there, and his intention was to shoot Larry, and of course we started putting it all together and figuring it out.
It occurred Charlie would do anything for Tammy's love, even murder his best friend.
Investigators ask, why confess now?
After the murder, Tammy cut him off. She changed her phone number, and she moved someone else into the house. Charlie came clean because his feelings were hurt.
Charlie Miller is charged with first-degree murder.
When I found out Charlie was involved in the death of my dad, it was just a cold betrayal that somebody would take their trust of a friend who brought them into their house in their time of need, and that friend turns around and murders them.
Not in our darkest dreams would we ever thought that she was capable of such an act, because she acted like she was so in love with him. That's pretty ruthless.
Next, investigators close in on Tammy Holman, who is still living with her new boyfriend, Kevin O'Neill.
It was early January. It's freezing outside. The weather is, it's gray, it's snowing, and all of a sudden the cops show up to the house and arrest my mom.
Tammy Holman, you're under arrest for the murder of your husband, Larry Holman. You had the right to remain silent.
Tammy Holman's demeanor was really carefree. It was almost like dealing with a high school kid.
What's happening? Everything's going to be okay. Mommy's going to go out and talk with these gentlemen.
I remember my mom standing in the doorway in handcuffs saying everything's all right.
The situation is far from all right. Tammy is arrested and charged with first-degree homicide.
Tammy Holman's told us that Charlie Miller had been stalking her and that she had no involvement.
But investigators aren't buying it.
Through phone records, through love letters found at her house, we figured that there was more to Charlie's story than what Tammy was telling us.
There's no doubt in my mind she's very manipulative, and she was smart enough that she picked people who were able to be manipulated. Charlie was easy prey, and the same with the other guys that she had.
While Tammy sits in a jail awaiting trial, Randy is awarded temporary custody of her children.
I think from Tammy's standpoint, I became public enemy number one. I knew she was guilty. I wasn't going to allow her to have an opportunity to harm the kids. She literally hated me, probably as much as I did her.
Just before the proceedings are scheduled to get underway, Charlie agrees to testify against Tammy. The cold-blooded nature of his actions shocks everyone.
During one of the court appearances, Charlie testified that he shot Larry in the head, took out his cell phone, called Tammy and told her she could set one less plate for dinner. It sent chills through the courtroom.
Tammy is charged with first-degree murder. She agrees to take an Alford plea to a charge of conspiracy.
Tammy got 7 years, and to me that was just a slap on the wrist.
While Tammy is incarcerated, Randy Holman is awarded permanent custody of Larry and Tammy's children.
Without a doubt in my mind, Josh turned out to be the person that Larry dreamed he could be. Larry would be so proud of the way he turned out.
In 2008, Tammy Holman is released from prison, but never regains her relationship with Josh.
What would motivate a woman to kill her husband? Was it life insurance? Was it she wanted sole custody of me and my sister? I'll never know.
Investigators also wonder about the motive. Did she conspire to commit murder for love, money, or both?
And who was Tammy in all of this? Pulling the strings, manipulating a guy into murdering her husband? I mean, this was a guy she supposedly loved. What did she do? She had murdered? She's a sociopath. She doesn't care.
Larry's family clings on to the memory of the man who cherished his loved ones and the great outdoors.
We tell each other anything and everything, and that doesn't come around all the time. And so I miss that. There's not a week that goes by that he's not in a dream that I have. He's never gone from your memory.
Before he died, he called me up one day and he told me how much he loved me as a sister. Larry was a good Christian man who loved the Lord. That's how I want him remembered.
What I miss most about my dad is the time we spent together. My dad should really be remembered as the caring guy he was.
A family's golden opportunity becomes a stone-cold nightmare.
When the detectives walked in there, everything was there was nothing out of place.
Townspeople pray for their safe return.
We just wanted people to be aware that this family was missing, and we were looking for them.
A daughter clings to hope.
It's disturbing to people. Where is this family? Because families just don't vanish.
And a daunting mystery unfolds.
The McStay family had disappeared from California, and now we have 2 families just completely gone. There were just so many similarities that we thought, this is bizarre. Do we need to consider something else has happened to them?
Have they met with a much darker fate?
Something seriously is wrong with the family.
We had no bodies, no evidence that they were gone.
Excuse me.
Omaha, Nebraska. Winters in this Midwestern city surrounded by prairie are unforgiving and seemingly never-ending.
There was one year on Halloween that nobody could trick or treat because we were getting a blizzard. I can remember getting snow as late as April, so it can be long. Sometimes when you're walking outside, that air is so crisp it hurts your face.
Combine the relentless snowfall with chilling temperatures that can dip below freezing, and Omaha can feel like the coldest place on Earth.
With wind chill, it can get between 10 to 20 below zero, and it's just bitter cold outside. And not too many people want to go outside in the wintertime. Most people are confined to their houses.
The cold took some getting used to for the Supanik family. The couple emigrated to the U.S. from Brazil years earlier. Vanderlei, Jacqueline, and son Christopher first settled in Miami before moving to Omaha to start a church. Their eldest daughter, Tatiana, stayed behind in Brazil.
They were very religious. They had a strong faith in God and believed God was going to give them the good things. When they had an opportunity to move to Nebraska and become missionaries, they were really happy and believed it was God's plan.
So Vanderlei, he's a builder, you know, and he decides, after being asked to take on
Well, guys, that's it. Subscribe to my channel. I'll talk to you guys later.
build this assembly of
Bye.
God church in this mission. Vanderlei's got to be